Welcome back to Market Headline. High-profile corruption cases keep making daily headlines in Indonesia. And one of the robust ones is the corruption case involving the Armed Forces Insurance Company, so-called as Asabri. And so far, the audit board calculated the case cost state 22 trillion rupiah.
Audit Board of Indonesia concluded that there were deviations from the laws and regulations related to the parties in the management of investment in shares and mutual funds at Armed Forces Insurance Company, so-called as Asabri. During a press conference with the Attorney General's office, the chairman of Audit Board, Firman Sampurna, said that from 2012 to 2019, the case cost the state of 22.78 trillion rupiah. Previously, the Attorney General has stated that the value of state losses in Asabri corruption case reached 23.71 trillion rupiah. The Audit Board has also submitted the report regarding investigations result from the period 2012 to 2019 to the Attorney General. IDX Channel reported.
Corruption is a serious problem to Indonesia's development, and combating corruption has been a major priority. And corruption comes in many ways, mostly about bribery, but lately some corruption cases are related to the involvement of investment manager companies. So just like what happens in Armed Force Insurance Companies, so-called as Asabri, due to mismanagement of investment assets, the case cost the state a huge deal of money. So let's break it down in the first graphic. For the first graphic, we can see the profile of the Asabri case. In this case, we can see that the confiscated assets reaching 13 trillion rupiah, and about the state loss, it required 22.78 trillion rupiah, almost 23 trillion rupiah. But however, the investigators will continue to seek out Asabri as such, which is probably going to be huge because so far Asabri losses exceed that of Jiwasraya insurance cases. And this alleged corruption case occurred during 2012 to 2019. Asabri itself has worked with several parties and to regulate and control Asabri's investment fund in share purchase investment of 10 trillion rupiah, and through the affiliated parties and investment fund in mutual funds of 13 trillion rupiah. Actually, in terms of the mode of crime of the suspects, Asabri and Jiwasraya case have many similarities. Both are related to the involvement of investment manager companies, and both are costed state huge deal of money. But despite of the type of the corruptions, the Indonesian government bolstered numerous institutions tasked with the fighting corruptions, such as the Corruption Eradication Commissions or KPK and the National Anti-Corruption Courts. The government has incorporated civil society and non-governmental organizations, or we call as NGOs, to the reform process to create multiple networks of the anti-corruption actors. And so far, Corruption Eradication Commissions, or KPK, has investigated many corruption cases and collected state loss. Let's see the commission performance in the next graphic. Here it is. We can see the state loss due to corruption collected by KPK. In the graphic, we can see that in 2015, the earliest stage, it has 123 billion rupiah collected by KPK. But however, if we take a look in 2019, it has a peak season of 6.2 trillion rupiah, which is state loss due to corruptions collected by KPK. And last year, it only amounted 105 billion rupiah. So Indonesian Corruptions Watch recorded that the value of state losses due to corruption handled by Corruption Eradication Commissions of 105 billion rupiah in 2020. But this figure is down by 87% from the previous year, which amounted to 6.2 trillion rupiah. When compared to the other law enforcement agencies, the losses saved by KPK are lower than those achieved by the Attorney General's office. So let's see the comparisons in the next graphic. In the next graphic, we can see the comparisons. State loss due to the corruptions in 2020. Here it is. We can see two indicators from KPK and Attorney General. KPK has collected 105 billion rupiah state loss. And in the other hand, Attorney General has collected 17.6 trillion rupiah. And the rescue of the potential state losses is based on efforts to recover, control, and optimize assets. Meanwhile, for asset recovery claimed by KPK, the realizations reached around 58.8 of the target of 70 points, while the target is 84%. And through 2020, the Commission has named more than 109 corruption suspects from 91 corruption cases. And the Commission also has carried out around 111 investigations, 75 prosecutions, 92 pending cases, and 108 executions. Even though it sounds like a lot, but Indonesia Corruption Watch marked E score to the performance of the commissions. Why? I'll explain it through the next graphic. Here it is. We can see through the next graphic the corruption cases enforcement by KPK. We can see the comparisons between 2018, 2019, and 2020. We can see that the trend is declining from 216 suspects in 2018 going forward and downward in 155 suspects, and in 2020 it went down to 75 suspects only. Meanwhile, for the corruption case, it has its peak in 2019 by 62 corruption cases, but however in 2020 it just only recorded 15 corruption cases. And the Indonesian Corruption Watch calculates the performance of assessment of corruption cases based on the percentage of the ratio of monitored cases to the target for prosecutions of the cases. A score means very good if the percentage of cases handled is 81 up to 100%. And B score is good with the percentage of cases handled by 61 until 80%. And C, we can call it as a fair by 41 up to 80%. Then the value of D score is bad with percentage of a case handled only 21 up till 40%. And E score means very bad with the percentage of cases handled by 0 up to 20%. And seeing this performance, Indonesian Corruption Watch gave an E score to the performance of the Commission since 2020. In addition, ICW explained that the most of the prosecutions for the corruption cases carried out by KPK were the result of the hand arrest operations of 7 cases and the development of 7 cases, while the newly investigated case was reported only 1 case in 2020. And yes, viewers, corruption remains a serious problem and overall progress has been so slow. We hope numerous institutions tasked with fighting corruption can reform the process to create multiple anti-corruption actors. Stay with us because market headlines will be right back after this quick break.